All right. It's going mad in America. We sort of knew it would under Trump, but what's happened is Trump is angry and he's lashing out because he is apparently named in the Epstein files. I was going to say his government, but it's the FBI, but maybe that is part of the Trump operation. They basically said there's nothing to see in the Epstein files, and Trump's base, the MAGA people, have gone mad about it. So, Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar posted a clip on X from a 2010 Epstein deposition where he's questioned on his relationship with Trump. Let's have a listen.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Oh, God, that's awful man, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he was.
Yeah. Well,
so's Trump.
What is the latest? Does anyone understand this latest thing, Samuel?
Yeah, so essentially, these FBI files have not been released. Donald Trump is adamant that he is not in these files.
Which is why he won't release them to prove that.
Yet he won't release it because he thinks it's all fake news and, fabricated by the Democrats.
And hearsay, yeah.
Yeah, hearsay. But the reality is it's the likelihood that Donald Trump and Epstein would have socialised is obviously extremely high. In fact, there is evidence that there has been. There are previous court documents.
Film with them together, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We know they have. We don't know whether it was in the presence of very young girls.
And that does, well, yeah, exactly. And that doesn't necessarily mean that Donald Trump has done anything illegal. So it just feels like he's adding fuel to this story unnecessarily.
Well, also, this was a promise that he made to the base, that absolutely this was something that was going to be tackled. And what's so fascinating about this is the first time he's actually getting pushback from his base, who are slavishly loyal. And so suddenly it's like Pam Bondi or whatever said to Trump, your name is within the files in some regard, and then suddenly it's like, we're not releasing them. And he's saying all this rubbish about, is Obama or Biden, like lashing out. And the base, for the first time ever, kind of aren't having it. And you can see people, almost the scales falling for the first time, like questioning this man where they've believed everything. And the more he lashes out, the worse it gets for him. And now what's so really interesting is the Wall Street Journal's involvement. So they published a story saying that Trump had written a card to Epstein and it was a drawing and it was pretty lewd and this, that and the other. And Trump said, that's not true. And he's hit Murdoch, so it's Battle of the Billionaires, for a £10 billion lawsuit.
Yeah, so, over this. I think if the birthday card comes out and it's Trump basically saying something like,
it's about a secret. I
like young girls, young women too. It's sort of, it just looks a bit sinister given what we know about Epstein now. And Trump, it apparently contains a little cartoon that Trump drew. And Trump says, I have never written a picture. That's his defence. Anyway, we just don't know, but it's just sort of chaotic. And then you've got this woman, Tulsi Gabbard, who's part of the Trump administration, saying there's a declassified report which exposes the Obama administration as having tried to essentially kind of dismantle the election win that Trump had in 2016. So this may well be deflection. Let's have a look.
Now, President Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey, and others, including their mouthpieces in the media, knowingly lied as they repeated the contrived narrative that was created in this January 2017 intelligence community assessment with high confidence as though it were fact. It has to do with an outgoing president taking action to manufacture intelligence to undermine and usurp the will of the American people in that election and launch what would be a years-long coup against the incoming President of the United States, Donald Trump.
So they're saying Obama tried to take down Trump with a coup. And the question then, Samuel, is, and I know you're sympathetic to Trump, why have they declassified that but not the Epstein files?
Yeah, the irony of this report is I think Kash Patel, who's the director of the FBI, contributed to it being written. And so that just makes it a bit more complicated.
I know people watching this will be thinking, it literally probably sounds like we're talking a different language here because it's so arcane.
It is, and also at the heart of this was a paedophile ring, and whatever they say, they are at this point protecting paedophiles. You know, the information that they won't let come out has names in it, and people understandably want to know. These predators will still be in positions of power, and it is absolutely disgusting.
But as part of the knock-on from all this, where the FBI have basically now are clearly working for Trump and they've killed the Epstein thing, is that Andrew's off the hook. So Prince Andrew's now been told there's no further questions to answer.
You know what, as well, like, you look at the character of Trump and you have on video and on clips him saying the most disgusting, weird things about his daughter, talking about how he would have dated his daughter and, oh, she's so sexy, and going up an escalator where there was a child and he'd go, I'll be dating her soon. Like, the man is a wrong-un. Can we just...
I don't know that he's ever been a paedophile.
I haven't said that. I've said he's a wrong-un. Yeah. Men who go around being, like, sexual about their daughters. It's just...
I just think that with Andrew and with Trump, you'd think if they were involved sexually with underage girls, we would have by now testimony from the victims who would now be in their 30s and 40s. Even with Andrew, we've got one person who's now sadly dead. So we are lacking first-person accounts here.
With Trump, there are about 25 women who have come out and said things. They just don't get listened to because they are women. And the men in power with billions of pounds get to rule the narrative. And that is the way it's been since the dawn of time.
Completely different story.